Alright, let me tell you about one of the wildest stories I've come across in a long time. Back in 1977, at ancient history, we're talking modern day, a Japanese fishing boat straight up pulled something out of the ocean that looked like a freaking dinosaur. I'm not exaggerating. This thing had 4 massive flippers, a long neck, tiny little skull, and the crew thought it was a plesiosaur, as in Jurassic, prehistoric, Loch Ness Monster type vibes. And here's the kicker. After taking photos and cutting off tissue samples, they threw it back in the ocean. So here's what happened. The boat was called the Zui Maru, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying that completely wrong, but you understand. They were fishing near New Zealand. It was about 1,000 feet deep, and they started pulling in their net, and it's heavier than normal, right? So crew's expecting maybe a big haul, maybe a shark, but nope. They get it on deck, and boom. This massive, rotting sea creature. Skin's falling off, it's decomposing, it stinks, and it's got a weird body. It's got 4 big paddle-shaped flippers, a long serpent-like neck, tiny head. Basically, it looked like every single drawing you've ever seen of the Loch Ness Monster. And the crew was like, what the heck did we just bring up? Because they've never seen anything like that. This fish every single day, and they have never seen this thing. So they start taking some photos, and they even cut off samples of the flesh, but because it was so rotten, they didn't want to contaminate the rest of their catch, they tossed the body back overboard. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking, you found something that looks like a dinosaur and you threw it back? But it doesn't end there. Photos get sent back to Japan and the media goes bananas. Headlines are all over the country. They're saying that a sea monster was found by a Japanese crew, proof of prehistoric life. Even scientists started weighing in. Some said, yeah, could actually be a plesiosaur, or maybe even something new. And then others were like, nope, it's a shark. It's just a rotting shark. Which, to be fair, a decomposing basking shark can look like a long-necked reptile. But let's be real. It's also the easiest way to explain it away and shut the story down, which happens a lot. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Now if you're thinking, well, even if it was a dinosaur, it would have been a one-off thing, right? Not so fast, because what if I told you that dozens of ancient civilizations have carvings, pictographs, and statues of the same exact types of creatures? I'm talking tribes in North America carving long-necked reptiles into canyon walls. I'm talking ancient Chinese sculptures that look exactly like a triceratops. There's stuff in Peru, Egypt, Cambodia, cultures that were thousands of miles apart with zero contact. Yet somehow, they all had accurate drawings of animals they should have never known about. So what does that mean? Either they had a really crazy good imagination, or they actually saw these things. And listen, we're gonna dive into all those cases in future episodes, and I've got some wild ones lined up. From South American carvings to Native American legends of flying reptiles. And by flying reptiles, I mean dragons, because that's what they were called before scientists came in and said they were dinosaurs. Tons of evidence. So, if people were drawing these things thousands of years ago, and then a Japanese boat pulls one out of the ocean in 1977, maybe this wasn't a fluke. Maybe some of these creatures never really went extinct, they just went really deep. And then when one floats up, science panics and pushes it right back down, because that's what they do. So, could it have been a basking shark? Sure, why not? That's the safe answer. But once you see all the photos and you stack it next to all of the ancient evidence, it starts to look a little different. Anyways, that's just the first of many. We're diving deep into these stories like this with real accounts, wild evidence, stuff you're not hearing anywhere else. So if this is your vibe, you're gonna love what's coming. And trust me, there's a lot of evidence.